Selamat pagi, good morning, everybody.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, we already have our second professor, actually. He is Professor Irfan Priyambada. He is a lecturer from Gajah Mada University, but he is also a best friend from our first keynote speaker, Professor Eiichiro Fukusaki. So we will wait for him for a moment. Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you today?
Morning.
Okay, thank you for coming for our fourth day. Let me introduce myself. I'm Susanti Mugristari. You can call me Santi, and I am lecturer. I am a lecturer from Department of Agricultural Microbiology, Faculty of Agriculture, Gajah Mada University. And today we have three keynote speakers. He already coming, Professor Fukusaki, and also the second one is Professor Irfan. Fukusaki Sensei, Professor Irfan already here.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Okay. Okay. Yes, and firstly, I want to introduce Fukusaki Sensei, and I want to share his background. Professor Fukusaki, actually, he is a professor, a chief professor in the Department of Biotechnology, Graduate School of Engineering in Osaka University. And his expertise is metabolomic and metabolomic profiling. And also you can open his website. Actually, he has a lot of experiences in his expertise, of course. And nowadays, we will hear from his insightful information about innovative and emerging agricultural technology and management. Fukusaki Sensei, are you ready for your material for today?
Okay, thank you very much for your kind introduction. Can I share the screen?
Yes, of course. Sensei, you have 1 hour, and then maybe it is around 30 minutes or 40 minutes for your explanation, and then after that, we will have our discussion.
Okay. Can you see the PowerPoint slideshow?
Yes.
Okay, let me start today's lecture. Okay, good morning, Indonesian friend. I'm Fukusaki from Osaka University. It's a great honor to have an opportunity to lecture to the student in Gajah Mada University. Today, I will give a lecture on the title you see. I would like to focus on single origin chocolate. As you know, chocolate is one of the most popular sweets in the world. Chocolate contains a large amount of fats, protein, carbohydrate, polyphenol, and other bioactive substances. It's mainly made from cacao nibs, sugar, and cacao butter. Single origin chocolate is made using cacao beans from a specific origin without artificial flavoring, and demand for SOC with unique organoleptic properties has been increasing recently. This figure indicates a bean tuber process of SOC. In the process, at first, raw beans should be subjected to the fermentation process. Following, roasting, refining, conching, finally yield SOC chocolate. Chocolate production processes affect the quality. However, there is very little research on the process in bean to bar. It's necessary to investigate the change in compound in each process from bean to bar. To study the component change, metabolomics is a useful tool. Metabolomics means an omics science based on the exhaustive profiling of metabolite. Application area of metabolomics are widely spread, for example, basic biology, medicine, pharmaceutical, agriculture, fermentation, and bioproduction. In this study, two types of GCMS-based metabolomics was conducted to profile both non-volatile and volatile components of SOC were analyzed. The obtained component profile was used for explanatory variable. On the other hand, sensory tests were carried out to yield score of sensory attribute as a responsive variate. Correlation analysis between component profile and sensory score was conducted. Possible to construct a prediction model that can substitute for the sensory evaluation. The slide indicates principle of metabolic fingerprinting. Its concept is very much simple. Living organisms with complicated phenotype should be subjected to mass analysis to obtain metabolome data matrix. The obtained dataset should be subjected to multivariate analysis for cluster separation or classification. In some cases, quantitative phenotype level can be predicted using metabolome information. Application area of metabolomics study is very much wide. So among these, I focus on the food application. Here, I'd like to introduce a practical example of component profile that contribute to the study of the sensory function of food products. Component profile using metabolomics, a comprehensive analysis method of metabolites, has been frequently used to analyze the correlation between the taste of food production and the component. The correlation analysis can be performed using the component profile obtained by metabolomics analysis as explanatory variable and the taste intensity obtained by sensory evaluation as response variable. To construct a taste prediction model, sensory evaluation required skilled evaluator, and obtaining useful data is very costly. Building a taste prediction model using component profile as explanatory variable has a great advantage of enabling an understanding of taste without the need for sensory evaluation, organized by skilled veteran. My research group has applied food metabolomics techniques to variety of foods, agricultural products, fermented foods, and herbal medicine, as shown here. Objective of this study is to investigate the processing effect on the component change of single origin chocolate during bean tuber processes. Strategies are shown here. As a strategy 1, confirm the importance of processing in the bean tuber chocolate production. As a strategy 2, component profiling of SOC was conducted by DCMS-based metabolomics technique. It's to compare the component profile of SOC with different origin and different additive. As a strategy 3, investigate the correlation between component profile and sensory score by means of multivariate analysis, including PCA and OPLS regression, and latter test, that is semi-trained sensory evaluation test, was conducted. This is a slide for sample information. Strategy 1 is specifically to confirm the importance of processing in the chocolate production. Sampling from the whole process of the chocolate production was performed. In detail, 5 types of sample, including raw bean, fermented bean, after roasting, refined powder, and SOC chocolate. Samples were collected from 3 origins: Aceh, Bali, and West Papua. Pipiltin Cocoa Company kindly supported our study. This figure indicates the standard protocol of GCMS analysis of cocoa-related samples. Samples should be subjected to grinding. Next, extracted to remove hydrophobic portions. After that, proper derivatization should be done, and injected GCMS and obtained data should be subjected to multivariate analysis. This is a workflow until multivariate analysis. GCMS raw data subjected to the several kinds of processing, including baseline smoothing, baseline correction, peak detection, deconvolution, alignment, normalization, annotation, something like that, to organize data matrix. Dataset should be subjected to multivariate analysis. After data pretreatment, including mean center, variance scaling, auto-scaling, etc. Metabolomics data contains important information, but it must be extracted by means of multivariate analysis. As exploratory multivariate analysis, PCA and PLS are commonly used. This is a brief explanation of principal component analysis, PCA. PCA is a method of expressing the characteristic of samples from a large amount of information in a small number of dimensions. It becomes possible to visually grasp complex data consisting of multiple dimensions. Metabolomics complex data with large amount of dimension can be presented in smaller number of dimensions in PCA. Let me mention the most important 2 objects of PCA. One is score plot. The left top figure represents a typical example of PCA score plot. PC, that is means principal component, can highlight the differences between the sample and PC becomes the graph axis. The largest differences between the sample lie along PC1. The second largest difference between the sample lie PC2. Contribution rate represent what percentage of the total variance the principal component represents. The other important object of PCA is loading. See the left figure, score plot the position between score plot and roasting plot is corresponded. See the right figure. Loading plot, each point is metabolite that characterize each group. It is impossible to deliver a perfect understandable lecture about the principal component analysis due to a lack of enough time for that. I'm sure you learned them in the mathematical class or linear algebra in the grade of first year or second year. Fundamental PCA is based on the eigenvector and the eigenvalue problem. So that is a simpler algebra. It is not so difficult for understanding. So I strongly recommend all students to study PCA by themselves. It's very much easy to find the good text via internet. So I'm sure, so multivariate analysis technique will make you can be facilitate the very big amount of data set. Let me back to the experimental result of the metabolome analysis of cacao sample. This slide indicates component change during production process. The left figure is PCA score plot. In the plot, a shape of the sample, shape of the symbol represents chocolate production process. Color of the symbol represents production place of raw cacao. You can see the component change during production process could be observed. Some sugar and amino acid contribute to the separation according to the processing. Strategy 2 is to compare the component profile of SOC with different origin and different additive. Samples were kindly provided from Pipiltin Cocoa, Indonesia. Sample origin Aceh, East Java, Bali, Flores, and West Papua. Several of the additives are involved in each sample. Volatile and non-volatile compounds were analyzed by GCMS. This slide indicates the compound category that were observed by GCMS analysis. Headspace SPME allow GCMS analysis was conducted for volatile compound. In total, 106 compounds detected, including pyrazine, ester, aldehyde ketone, alcohol, acid, and in total, 75 compounds were detected, including amino acid, organic acid, sugar, and sugar alcohol. Using those metabolome data as exploratory variate, principal component analysis was conducted. Five single origin chocolate samples were separated depending on cocoa contents. The differences on the component profile of SOC could be observed. The effect of the type and amount of additive is significant in the component profile of SOC. Next, let me talk about sensory evaluation. Rate all that apply data was conducted. Data test is one of the important semi-trained panelist-driven tests and commonly used for sensory evaluation of food commodity. In the latter test, from a complete list of sample attributes, semi-trained panelists have to select the attribute that they consider exist in the sample and rate the attributes on the given scale. On this occasion, 26 semi-trained panelists were organized. The panelist group include 10 women and 16 men, and 16 Japanese, 8 Indonesian, and 1 Malaysian, and 1 Filipino. The age range of the panelists was from 21 to 58 years old. First step is collecting attributes. Attributes were selected based on previous literature. The definition of the attribute was shared among the panelists. Next step is train the panelists. Several types of sensory descriptors were introduced to panelists. Final step is rating the attributes. The intensity was measured by using structure scale. It was not relative to other sample or reference. Strategy 3 is to investigate the correlation between component profile and sensory score. Latter test was conducted with 26 semi-trained panelists that were explained in the previous slide. 30 sensory attributes in 5 categories, including color, texture, taste, aftertaste, aroma, flavor, hedonic. Samples were provided with 3 small cubes. Using the obtained sensory evaluation data set as explanatory variable, PCA was conducted. You can observe the separation along with PC2. The separation could be according to the cacao percentage. From the loading plot, we can select several significant attributes among 30 attributes that were evaluated. Next, OPLS regression using metabolomic dataset as explanatory variate were carried out for the selected attribute, including sweet, dairy flavor, bitter, astringency, and cocoa flavor. Let me say again, 75 non-volatile compound and 106 volatile compound data were used as explanatory variate. Latter test-based sensory scores were used as response variate. OPLS regression analysis was conducted to establish the sensory prediction model. That is almost similar to correlation analysis between component profile and sensory scores. The bottom table shows the performance of the prediction model. R2 indicates linearity of the prediction model. Q-square and RMSE indicate robustness of the mother. Sensory property of the single origin chocolate, including sweet, dairy flavor, bitter, astringency, and the cocoa flavor, were well predicted by OPLS regression analysis. From the OPLS regression analysis, we can obtain the VIP score, which is a parameter estimating the importance of explanatory variable in prediction model. Compound with high VIP score can be estimated as important compounds to explain the attribute. Those information were summarized in the figure table. 1-pentanol, raffinose, and heptanoic acid were selected as the important compounds for the attribute of the sweet and the dairy flavor. And glutamic acid, tartaric acid, 3-methyl-2-butanone, mannitol, and ethyl cinnamate are selected as the important metabolite for bitterness and astringency and the cocoa flavor. We can say 1-pentanol and heptanoic acid have sweet and fat flavor. Raffinose is one of the sugar components. Some amino acid and organic acid are shown to have high VIP value. 3-methyl-2-butanone and ethyl cinnamate are known as the main volatile compound in chocolate flavor. These compounds were affected by fermentation, roasting, and the sugar addition. So as a summary, we can say the component change, sugar and amino acid during fermentation and subsequent processing were observed by using GCMS. GCMS and Headspace SPME AROA GCMS analysis results showed that the characteristics of SOC from different origins were affected more by the type and amount of additive. Correlation analysis shows the contribution to components that related to sweet, dairy flavor, bitter, astringency, and cocoa flavor. That is 1-pentanol, raffinose, heptanoic acid, glutamic acid, tartaric acid, 3-methyl-2-butanone, mannitol, ethyl, and cinnamate. As a conclusion, it can say Venturi process could lead the component change that possibly related to sweet, dairy flavor, bitter, astringency, and cocoa flavor. So it's over. Thank you for kind attention.
Okay, thank you, Fukusaki Sensei. Okay, we open the question for our first course. You can ask by yourself, by open your mic, or by chat through our chat room. It's very interesting because I never realized that all of the processing has their own volatile compounds, and it's very insightful because some of their compounds affected for the taste, flavor, and also fragrance. Okay, Professor, we have a question in our chat room from Ellen. Good morning, Dr. Fukusaki. In what other type of studies can we use PCA? What are the unique features of this tool in research? Can this be effectively used in experimental research? Maybe you can check in your
Okay,
chat room.
let me check the chat box.
Yes.
So let me read the question. So good morning, Dr. Kusaki. In what other type of study can we use PCA? What are the unique feature of this tool in research? Can this be effective using experimental research? Okay, that is a very important question. So PCA is very much important and variable and the robust technique. So it's simply based on the deduction of the dimension. So when you require the genome data and the transcriptomics data and the metabolomics data, so in many cases, so more than hundreds or thousands of the data set you must handle out. So it's a totally impossible to visualize such kind of large dimension. So one of the most important objective of the PCA is the compaction of the data scale to reduce the dimension. So based on the eigenvector and the eigenvalue problem, so data dimension compaction can be done. So the PCA is a very much variable to handle the large scale of the data set. It is a very much general tool. And we want to say again, so PCA is a very much easy technique. So, you can simply do the PCA analysis by your PC, by your own PC. So Excel macro system would be enough to enjoy the PCA. So I certainly want all of the students to study about the PCA principle by yourself, and please enjoy the PCA. Thank you. And
Okay,
next
thank
question.
you. We have Dian Sensei. Maybe she wants to ask by herself. You can open your mic, Dian.
Yes, thank you so much. And then thank you, Professor Fukusaki, that I get this interesting insight. I never thought that chemical compounds really important in developing flavors in cacao. And then I have two questions actually. In the component profiling of single origin chocolate, like from Aceh, Bali, and West Papua in the sample, were there any unexpected or unique flavor compounds that are identified? And then I'm wondering, how did these compounds differ across these three regions? And what are the factors that influence that? Is it like local climate? Is it soil condition? Is it post-harvest practices? And then the second question regarding the principal component analysis, the PCA from the Rata test samples. Do you have any suggestions on how these PCA results might be useful for chocolate makers in developing region-specific flavor profiles? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the very much important question. So generally, most people strongly want the difference depending on the area of the cacao production, raw cacao production. But in my feeling, what is the most important is the production process. Among them, maybe the post-harvest fermentation process is very much important, I think. So if the superior cacao, raw cacao can be obtained, but if failed to the fermentation process, maybe the cacao quality is drastically dropped. So in my current presentation, so I didn't mention about the influence of the fermentation process, but the fermentation process is very much important. And when I conducted this analysis, So I expected the raw cacao production place is very much important. But after experiment, so experiment result clearly suggests the important is a production process. And your second question is
Yeah, it was
please again.
related. And yeah, how the PCA from the Rata test could be useful for the developing region specific
Okay.
flavor by the chocolate makers.
Yeah, maybe useful. So if the chocolate producer enhance several kinds of attributes, so from the PCA result, maybe they can get a good hint by which they improve the flavor direction. Maybe I think it's useful. But PCA analysis data will not be enough. So the PLS should be conducted using the sensory attribute as a response variate. So maybe combination of the PCA and the PLS would be very much variable.
Okay.
Nice. Thank you so much, Professor Fukusaki.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for good question.
Okay, thank you, Dian. Okay, Professor, we have another question in our
Okay. Let me focus in terms of white and dark chocolate and they coming from the same cocoa beans. What's the differences and the different component in terms of the process? Okay. The question is related to the white chocolate and the dark chocolate. Okay, white chocolate production is perfectly different from the dark chocolate production. So today I mentioned about the single origin chocolate production. So single origin chocolate is perfectly different from the milk chocolate. So the milk chocolate is very much sweet and oily. The single origin chocolate is very much bitter, have the astringency. So we can enjoy the original flavor of the cacao, but in case of taking the single origin chocolate. So when I eat the milk chocolate, so we can enjoy the very good sweetness, only sweetness. So white chocolate is amount involves a much amount of milk and sugar. So the milk chocolate story is out of scope of my today's story. And next question.
Yes, it is from Wang Jingjing.
Yeah, dear teacher, I am from University Putra, Malaysia. My question what as a method are used to test these organic compounds in addition to GCMS? Because we know that the organic matter agriculture product is different at different stage of picking. Finally, when you test, can you briefly introduce the pre-treatment of agriculture product? Okay, so in my study, GCMS was conducted to organize a metabolism dataset. So yeah, GCMS is a very useful machine. But without GCMS, it's theoretically possible to enjoy the metabolism analysis. So instead, I recommend to utilize NMR. NMR. NMR is also very much useful. And in some occasion, LCMS can be utilized. But in case of using LCMS, so you will be struggling to remove the non-annotated metabolite. So it's totally difficult to make the perfect annotation due to the lack of the database. So maybe for chocolate study, GCMS would be the best machine. And he also asked about the pre-treatment of the agriculture product. So yeah, basically several pre-treatment must be done, and the grinding and the defatting and is necessary. And the important is the conditioning to storage and the transportation. So the optimization of the logistics will be very much important. So larval metabolite can be easily varied depending on the temperature and the oxygen and the light. So it's necessary to remove such kind of effect. So if possible, dark and the low temperature and the no oxygen condition would be preferable. Okay.
Okay, I think the question is already
Solved?
answered. Yes, but maybe if you have any other question, you can raise your hand. We have a lot of participants, Professor, actually. It's not only from Indonesia, but from Malaysia, Philippines also, and any other countries. Okay, guys, if you
How
have
many country persons are participating?
I think it is more than 5. Actually, we actually have participants from Africa, but I don't think that they could attend because it's midnight over there. So they didn't attend for this kind of online course. Okay, maybe another question from
Hello,
another
teacher.
participant.
Yeah, my name is Wang Jingjing. I come from University of Malaysia. I saw from your slide you use GC to test more than 100 materials when you test the cocoa. Yeah, so I want to know how the range of this, because sometimes the organic the level is low. How you use a method to test this low level of the material, organic material? Use the GC.
Very much sorry, I couldn't catch a point preferably. So will you kindly say again?
Yeah, I mean you use the GC to test the organic material in cacao.
GC?
GCMS.
Yeah, you use the GC, HPLC.
GC. I use the GCMS.
I mean, you already test more than 100 material. I found your slide. You showed me more than 100.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to know when you test, some level is high, some level is low. How you use the method to test the low level?
Do you mean for the timing, Wang Jingjing? When did Fukusake Sensei taste for the organic compound that get more than 100? Okay, I think it is the question, Sensei. When did you taste for to get that more than 100 organic compounds? Yes, we saw around 106. So when did you get that data? Maybe in which kind of part of the processing?
Oh. Eh, Today's lecture, the sample preparation was conducted so using the final chocolate sample. Final chocolate sample.
Okay. Okay, Wang Jingjing.
Final chocolate sample.
Final chocolate.
Final chocolate sample.
Okay.
SOC.
Okay, Wang Jingjing, did you get answer?
Okay, maybe I can send an email to the teachers to communicate because my major is about the chemical analyst used in, yeah, this is one of my focus in, so I can send the professor email to ask something detailed. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Wang Jingjing, for your question. Maybe you can, you can send email to Fukusake Sensei. Okay, do we have any other question? Okay, Dian. Okay, you can open
Sorry,
your...
I'm really curious. It's actually my extended question, because Professor, you mentioned that it's important. Fermentation is important to develop flavors, right? No matter the regardless of the geographical area it comes from. So I'm wondering how might different fermentation method, like in cacao, there is this box fermentation or heap fermentation or controlled fermentation chamber, can influence the development of this key flavor. To make sure that, like for example, for the sweetness, the important components or chemical is pentanol, right? Like pentanol and heptanoic acid. So I'm curious how different fermentation methods influence these chemical components. That's actually my question.
So your question is you want to know the relationship between the particular volatile compounds and the fermentation process?
Yes, that's correct.
So I don't have the exact information of the fermentation processing condition. So maybe such kind of compound might be produced through the fermentation process. So but I couldn't conclude due to the lack of the information of the post-harvest fermentation processing. So maybe some important factor might be involved in the fermentation process, but I couldn't answer properly.
All right. Thank you, Professor. Maybe that can be for future research, I think, to check different fermentation and different flavors component that is developed. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dian, for your question. Okay, from another participant, do you have any other question to our professor for today, for the first speaker? Okay, actually, Professor, we also doing some kind of fermentation, cacao bean, but we also faced some kind of difficulties like higher temperature because we are in the tropic area. And then for the some kind of foliage, because there are so many kind of fungus that growing. It is like can I see maybe it is like a tempe? Do you know tempe? In Indonesian, yes. Yeah, so it's very soft. So maybe I can call it as a failed fermentation of cacao bean, because our temperature as nowadays is very high. So it may be, as you said before, the temperature is also important for the fermentation.
Maybe the difficulty is it's necessary to make the best combination. So between the original climate and the original microorganisms consortium. So maybe the best starter bacteria consortium might be different depending on the place. Maybe, so if we can choose the best microorganisms component in Aceh, maybe these components might not be applicable in the West Papua. Maybe the very complicated synergy effect might be involved. So it's a very much difficult, not so easy. So one good starter microorganisms will not be enough. Maybe depending on the place. So the other study to be necessary, I think.
Yes, I think so, Professor. Okay, Prof. Irfan, you can say
Yeah.
something.
Thank you very much, Susanti. Fukusaki Sensei, we are doing what we just said, that we are now trying to make a fermentation from cacao bean from different places. And the result is different, completely different. Might be the one from Makassar is much nearer to the taste of the one coming from Ghana. But on the other hand, some also preferred by Indonesian taster, Indonesian consumer. So the one which is we call a standard good from Ghana, for Indonesian people, this is not the one they like. They prefer different product of fermentation, which is coming from East Java. So that is why we are doing the same now in my lab. We are doing that fermentation coming from different places, and then doing we make the fermentation in our lab, and now we try with process this one into a chocolate bar and try it by consumer, and different response, unexpected for me, that response. That is, I just let you know that we are doing what you just told, that from Aceh, and then we are going to collect what kind of a microbe which is produce chocolate which is preferable by the consumer. Because at the end, the consumer will decide which one they like to buy.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Professor Irfan. Yes, I think we have a little bit similar data from our research, Prof. Irfan, with Fukusaki Sensei research also. The tests are different from different kind of places also. Okay, any question from another participant? We still have 10 more minutes. Okay, if no, maybe Fukusaki Sensei, maybe you can say, give us another insightful about chocolate innovation technology, so we can improve our fermentation process, maybe, or we can improve taste, so all the consumers they can accept for all our chocolate taste regarding their places or regarding their country?
So, in my personal opinion, so it's necessary to establish the original brand derived from the Indonesian single origin chocolate. So it's a perfectly different from Indonesian cocoa quality is different from the Africa cacao quality. But that is a different. So it's very much difficult to prepare the African taste cocoa chocolate using the raw Indonesian cocoa. So maybe the most important is to establish the original brand image. So I feel that it's a possible. So before the robust percentage of the robust coffee is very low in the worldwide coffee market. But the market share of the robust coffee is increasing and increasing. So now the percentage share of the robust coffee almost reached to the 30%. So that is based on the effort of the Indonesian people. So Indonesian people succeeded in establishing in the original or name brand of the robust coffee. So it's a very much important. So it is my opinion. So Indonesian people must establish the original name image derived from the Indonesian cacao.
Okay, so it is a special from Indonesia, the taste from Indonesia.
So it's a very much good chance
Yes.
because the marketplace of the cacao, raw cacao is very much struggling. So the cocoa demand is very much short. So cocoa supply is very much short, depending on the increasing of the demand. So now is a very much good timing to improve and establish the Indonesian original brand.
Yes, agree, Sensei. Okay, thank you for your conclusion statement. Okay, for all the participants, please kindly open your camera. So we will take a picture, Sensei and Professor Irfan. We will take a picture together. Vita, can you help us?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Bu Santi. Okay, I will help you to take a picture with Professor Fukusaki. Okay, please kindly open your camera to all participants. Okay, there are 2 slides. Okay, first page, I will take a picture. 1, 2, 3. Okay, second page. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vita. And thank you, Fukusaki Sensei, for your precious time for sharing your information, insightful information for us. Hopefully you enjoy your day, or maybe you can stay because after this we have Irfan Sensei for introducing his another insightful information. Okay, thank you, Fukusaki Sensei.
Thank you.
Okay, Prof. Irfan. Yeah, we have our second guest lecturer. He is Professor Irfan Priyambada. He is a lecturer, a professor in our department in Agricultural Microbiology Department in Faculty of Agriculture, Gadjah Mada University. And nowadays, he is actually, let me introduce you for Professor Irfan. profile picture, profiles for him. Wait for a moment, please. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is Professor Irfan biography. He is a professor at the Department of Agriculture and Microbiology, and then previously he is a director of Directorate for Community Service in Gajah Mada University, and nowadays also he is a collaborating professor of Department of Biotechnology, Faculty of Engineering, Osaka University, and his specialization is soil and environmental microbiology and biotechnology. So I think Professor Irfan will give you another course that more insightful about Indonesia and about chocolate fermentation and so on. So time is yours, Professor Irfan.
Thank you very much, Tati. Please allow me to share my screen. Okay, then. Good morning, everybody. Very good morning. So even though I am a professor in environmental microbiology, but today's share will be more on my experience as the director for community service of Osaka of Universitas Gajah Mada, where the title is Innovative and Emerging Agricultural Technology and Management. So mostly, I think, on management. So before I talk about what the content of this share, I would like to refer first with innovation, taking into the dictionary. The term innovation can be interpreted as something original, and as a consequence is new, that break through the market of society or society. So a definition consistent with this aspect, innovation is something original, new, and important in any field that enters the market or society. So enter the market and society. This is the important part of this definition. While innovative is being or producing something like nothing done or experienced or created before. The new, the innovation is something new. The innovative is also an adjective that is about new. It's being producing something like nothing done or experienced or created before. The something innovative is new and original. So if you love to do experiment and find new ways to do things, so you are an innovative person. So innovative, like nova, novel, novice, comes from the Latin novus, which means new. So something innovative renews, alters the way something that has been done. So this is what we have done in my university from long time ago engagement. In 1959, my university, Universitas Gajah Mada, was granted with 160 hectares non-arable hilly areas south of Yogyakarta. So while the blue one is this blue one is our campus here. So we are granted 160 hectare land here. So around 20 kilometers away from campus to be used by the faculty. At the time, we are not separated yet. We have Faculty of Agriculture and Forestry to apply the knowledge they have for the welfare of the surrounding community. This is new one. So that is why I put this one into innovative, because at that time, the land is like this. Nobody used this one. It's non-arable. But then we start to change the way they utilize the land by putting the stone to prevent erosion. So now the result of this activity after several, so almost half century. So before in 1980, so 20 years after we started the work, this is what we have. And now this is the, in 2010, I took the picture myself. So we found that hilly area, which is formerly unarable, became a very fertile soil. Before the success, but once we started the effort, then another local government granted in 1964, granted an area, again, here is our campus, here, around 60 kilometers away from the campus, no, 40 to 50 kilometers away from the campus, non-arable hilly areas. They are asking university to change this one, the area. We started with 6 hectares. Here is the picture of in 1964. And this is the condition that we start to work. More stone than soil, more stone than soil. We change this one into a forest, which we call Wanagama. We started in 6 hectares in 64. It became 60 hectares in 1974, and then in 1984 became 600 hectares, and now we have 1,000 hectares of community-owned Wanagama. Wana means forest, and Gama is an abbreviation from Gajah Mada. But then people surrounding the place that we started to change also want to, so this is the condition of the area in 2020. So people from surrounding area then asked university, you assist the people, those our neighbor. We want also you to come and help us to convert our land to become something which is more productive. So we start not making forest, but we start to grow, to plant cacao. This is the cacao we started in with. Now we have around 800 hectares there. This is the cacao that we produced by those people there. And why we select cacao? Because for forest, then we have to wait for 20 to 40 years to be able to harvest the wood from the forest, the timber for the forest. But those people need also to live day to day. So that is why we select cacao. We put a cacao, and then the fallen leaf, we put it into the soil to improve the organic materials in the soil, so that also it's a kind of carbon sequestration and make the soil more fertile because they can hold more water. But then cacao bean they produce is not processed. They just take the harvest the cacao, then break the pot, and then just let it dry under sun, so sun-dried condition. Of course, this one unfermented, unprocessed, the price is very low. And then also they sometimes have a difficulty when it's rainy season, because we have long rainy season in Indonesia, 6 months dry, but next then 6 month rainy season. They have difficulty when it comes to rainy season. Again, university come with their innovation to start with the how to deal or how to overcome drying process when it is rainy season. So we start this one. This is my student here making this like a plastic house that can be used to dry the bean in a rainy season. But now we make it into a very efficient, put only with a screen here, plastic, and all our the innovation come from the university. And then Sumarno, one of our colleagues, study on the incentive price that fermented. Why those people, yes, worry about why those people is not eager to have to do a fermentation on their cacao. So we study in the social side why people do not want to do fermentation, especially in Jawa. The main factor causing farmers reluctant to do fermentation were no significant differences of selling price between fermented and unfermented cacao bean. The percent of cacao bean collectors who prefer buying unfermented cacao because they use this one for cosmetic. They take the cocoa butter and they use this one mostly for the cosmetic. So they do not care about whether this one is a fermented bean or unfermented bean. So they put at the same price. This make farmers do not want to do fermentation. Then the options of farmer cooperative, they are able to sell fermented cacao at higher price. So no cooperative in Jawa at that time, especially in Yogyakarta, south of Yogyakarta. So they cannot control the price. The price is controlled by the cocoa bean collectors and farmer inability to ferment cacao bean. Why? Because for fermentation, in our Faculty of Agriculture, Universitas Gadjah Mada, we have also 1,000 hectares cacao plantation. So we have a big processing unit for cacao here. So every day they ferment around 800 to 1 ton of cacao bean. Well, farmer only have 20 kilograms per harvest. So when they try to keep this one, just put it into a plastic bag. So no fermentation happen because too anaerobic. Well, when they dry to aerobic, so they do not able to have an innovation to make their harvest to become fermented one. So, okay, cacao farmer cooperative not yet formed, so they cannot collect in one place 50 farmers, for example, make 1 ton, 40 to 50 farmers, but they have no cooperative. That is why there's no possibility to do fermentation. Again, come university, try to overcome their problem. Then this is we learn from Adana and Fleet that the cacao fermentation characteristic is successional growth of various species of filamentous fungi, yeast, lactic acid bacteria, and acetic acid bacteria. Here is the Penicillium citrinum, for example, and Cloacaera apis, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, Candida tropicalis, Lactobacillus celobiosus, Lactobacillus plantarum, and Acetobacter pastorianus. First stage and later stage then dominated by the presence of Bacillus species, mostly Bacillus pumilus and Bacillus licheniformis. While Swan and Wills, 2004, microbiology of cacao fermentation and its role, there's a microbial succession, again, microbial succession of a wide range of yeast, lactic acid bacteria, and acetic acid bacteria that produce the flavor. To improve the quality of processed bean, more research needed to use as a starter culture. We try reduce the size from 1 ton into a size that is workable for our farmers. then we found that we can make this big fermentation box into the reduced that can be used for only 20 kilo. So here is the innovation coming from the result of my student, and it's skilled on fermentation and need bacteria, but with only the small fermentation box chamber, then we need a bacteria and yeast inocula to secure a good fermentation result. Because if we use like a wild fermentation, then sometimes they become different microbes coming, so the result is not cannot be secured. Then this is the result of our college, Rahayu and et al. Indigenous yeast lactic acid bacteria and acetic acid bacteria from cacao bean fermentation inhibit fungal growth. So what the question of Dr. Susanti, they sometimes come with the fungi. No, if we use this indigenous yeast, lactic acid bacteria, and acetic acid bacteria, we use a Candida famata, Bacillus plantarum, and Acetobacter as a starter, then they can inhibit fungal growth that produce mycotoxin. And also it is supported by Falconi, native microbial cocktail based on 2 yeast and lactic acid bacterium and acetic acid bacterium can be used to optimize fine aroma cacao. Okay, so the cocktail of bacteria, microbe, is changed, not always similar or same. We use Candida formata, Lactobacillus, but other people may use Torulaspora delbrueckii, Hanseanospora ovarum, and other also the lactic acid bacteria. So now then in Yogyakarta especially, business chocolate business is started to grow. This is for example chocolate, they call it chocolate mongo. This is a Belgium man married Yogyakarta woman, and they start to have a business on chocolate making. Also here a Monier, chocolate Monier. A man came from Switzerland, and they're married Indonesian lady, stay in Yogyakarta. They start business with chocolate Munir. Also other business with chocolate started to grow in Yogyakarta. And this one, farmers do not want to be left. They want also to participate or get the benefit of this started business of chocolate in Yogyakarta. Then on Universitas Gadjah Mada came to assist the farmers by establishing cacao farmer cooperative in Gunung Kidul, one of resident regency in Yogyakarta, and also in Kulon Progo, and they start also to learn how to make a chocolate bar that also done by people. Now we are able to assist the people to make chocolate bar by themselves in Gunung Kidul. Gun kit is a abbreviation of gun is Gunung. It is not a kit with gun, no. This is coming out Gunung and kit from Kidul, southern mountain. And also this is a chocolate from a different place by different farmers cooperative. So then this is the innovation that we have done, but now I would like to change a little bit about technical quality and price. I was experienced as a commissioner for a plantation that produce chocolate, but also tea. I have an experience that sometimes the quality, technical quality, doesn't work side by side with the price. This is the first one example. The first process that the grade 1, first grade is only 25%, second grade 35%, the third grade is 40%. So the first grade 25%. Of course, the price of first grade is higher than the second grade and third grade. So the price, for example, for grade first grade is 100, while the second grade is 70. The third grade is only 50. The second process, we can optimize on the second grade product. So 10% only for a first grade, but 80% for the second grade one, and 10% only for the third grade. In the quality, because our company or our plantation owned by university, so professors are criticized for the second process. Why? It means that your process is wrong. Your process is inefficient because the first grade is only 10%. Well, actually, we expect that the first grade is 25%. But what do you think about this one? Do you select the first process or the second process? For me, when I calculate the earned money with the first process, we earn only 6,950 when we summarize. We put all in total. Well, the second process, we can earn 7,100. So it means that the quality, technical quality, sometimes not giving us the best profit. So we have to think about the price. We have to think about the preference of the consumer. Because here, why the preference of the consumers, they like to have the second grade. Why? Price is lower. While in the taste of the tea, not so much different from the first grade. So that we have to think about the consumer preference. And here is the technical taste and flavor. So fermented one, fully brown, is for the cacao. While slaty is unfermented, usually dark, almost black, and purple is somehow not completely fermented. So in between are the level of the fermentation. Then we have another approach, a product intelligence approach for making the for the innovation. Product intelligence is the process of gathering and analyzing data related to a product in order to gain insight into how customers interact with them. It helps business to identify opportunity for improvement, optimize feature, and track usage track. So related to customer satisfaction. The customer means commercialization. So market demand and preference. So do not make product. The inventors then are good, but the customer do not need, but do not meet the customer need. So this is the most thing that I would like to share with you. The business are using intelligence, product intelligence to answer product-related questions at what feature are the most popular, what can we do to improve satisfaction of the product. So we focus also not only changing the quality of the product, but also meet the need, the preference of the consumer. So this is the quality, and also the quality study, like what have been done by Professor Fukusaki, that also we have done with the cacao from East Java, Bali, and also from South Sulawesi, and compare it with Ghana. cacao from Ghana. This is all the component by using the gas chromatograph, and then the flavor profile of cacao liqueur from East Java, Bali, and Sulawesi differ from each other, as well as the reference. It differs also from Ghanaian cocoa liqueur. And also, Fukusaki Sensei emphasized that it's not comparable because it's different. And East Java liqueur have specific aroma, strong chocolate, creamy, caramel, coffee bean. And among the three liqueurs, flavor sensory profile of South Sulawesi was most similar to Ghanaian cocoa, but people here, cocoa liqueur from Bali and East Java more preferred than cocoa liqueur from South Sulawesi. So this one is the fact end for our market. And if we use approach like PCA that we have discussed with the Professor Fukusaki, we can see that which component is related to which flavor. If we can add more now with the microbes, what kind of microbes related by using the principal component analysis, then we can see that this component, bitterness, for example, related to what kind of chemicals and what kind of microbe. Then we can select the microbe there to produce or to make a inocula for making the process of fermentation to become more like what we like to have. So here, the correlation of bacteria with typical aroma, for example, here also other study related to the bread, they can have like, oh, no, not bread, this is fish sauce. Then study from Thailand, they can find that which one is preferable by most people, like sweet, fishy aroma, but also related to what kind of microbe is there, what kind of component of the fermentation sauce. This is like from fermented fish. So with this analysis, we can select then what kind of microbe should be given to the process of fermentation. This is what I would like to share with you on the innovation that can be done on the fermentation of cacao bean to have a good or preferable chocolate by the customer. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Irfan. Yes, it's a very insightful information about the microbes that they can work to help us for anything, actually. Not only for fermentation of cacao, coffee, and other kind of foods also. Okay, all the participants, do you have any question or something to discuss with our professor? Okay, Prof. Irfan, we have question in our chat room from Alan. How is the product intelligence? Okay, wait. Used by the UGM Extension and Community Services Unit to meet their customers' demand. Are farmers cooperative also trained use this for them to ensure the quality and relevance of their own products that they sell in the local market?
Yeah, wait a minute. Can we, how the product intelligence used by UGM Extension and Community Service Unit to meet their customer demand? Are farmer cooperative also trained to use this for them to ensure the quality relevance of their own product that they sell to market? Yes. So we operate almost 300 units of student community service learning. Every year, UGM have to dispatch 8,000 students because it's compulsory for Universitas Gadjah Mada students to serve in the community for 2 months before their graduation. So 8,000 students should be distributed to around 300 units. So this unit is not just come for 2 months and then go back home. But the first unit, for example, the unit that come to a certain area, for example, those certain area is the area that produce, that they have a cacao. Then this unit should study how they sell the cacao bean. Is there any a company that collect the bean, or is there any possibility that they produce by themselves? And then if then they know, then next year also they have to teach the youngster in the community how to analyze. So like the student also, how they collect the data. For example, they can try this chocolate bar made by this community. Do you like or not? We can try several. What kind of chocolate that they like to have. So from then they learn what kind of microbes. If we have the map of this correlation between flavor, taste, and also microbes, then we put this one. So UGM extension unit are collecting, but not, of course, not only cacao, but the one learning cacao is the one who appointed to an area that produces cacao, but not always. For example, if the area is only for, let's say, near Borobudur, where what they earn money is from tourism, then collect what is the customer like. Let's say in Borobudur, do tourists come here to Borobudur just to see the temple, Borobudur temple? No, actually, then we collect the data. Then we found that no, we want to learn also the livelihood of the people in surrounding Borobudur. Then they see that we would like to know how they produce coconut sugar. They would like to know how to produce a fermented drink from the coconut sugar. So we map this one also. And then we start to do an innovation for that. That I can answer to you, Ellen.
Yes,
Is
it
that
is like
satisfy or it is not related with your question?
yeah, it is like a start from the end, Professor.
Yeah, we start from the end.
Yes.
Second, if there's no comment or I wait for a comment from Ellen, then I come to the second question from Miyako Iwata.
Okay, Ellen, do you have any response to Professor Irfan answer?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, he really answered the question satisfactorily. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
The second question from Miyako Iwata. You mentioned the high quality but high price cacao beans are not always preferred. Is there difference in quality of cacao bean purchased depending on the customer? Yes, that is like Ghanaian cacao, chocolate. I think very popular in Japan. Then I have now a collaboration with Fuji Oil from Osaka. They would like to purchase Indonesian cacao. So it's different. It's different. The taste is different from the Ghanaian cacao. And I also once invited to Hokkaido with the artisan chocolate producer. They said, yes, it's different, but it has something which is unique for each places. Even the one from Bali differ with the one from Jawa. So we send this the cacao bean, processed, I mean, fermented one, to Japan. Then checked by the Japanese customer by Fuji Oil to do the research, which cacao, which bean preferred by your people, because at the end it would come to the customer. Then from there we check whether which fermentation is done, which fermentation. Then we select the microbes there. So because it's different, so we cannot force the customer to follow us. We follow the customer. We follow the customer. But then if they are used to have this, I mean, the taste, then we start to introduce. Then we come to common, because we cannot always do fermentation, a very specific, this one for Java, people from Java, this one for European, and this one for Japanese, too complicated. But for the beginning of the business, we start to follow the customer first.
Thank you very much.
Is that okay?
Yes,
Miyako?
yes, thank you very much.
Okay, Miyako, thank you. Okay, Professor, we have another question from Dian. Dian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Professor Irfan. Yeah, Professor, it's very interesting when you mentioned that people in Yogyakarta, they prefer the second quality instead of the top
40,
quality.
40. This is 40.
Oh,
What my example is 40. Not for
40.
Jakarta. This one for export.
For export.
For export.
Okay.
They
All right.
prefer the second grade. Why? Because not so much different from the first grade. But then, all professors in my faculty blame me. Why you process to second grade? It is a declination, because actually we can make a first grade. Yes, but the price and also the profit for the company, because I'm working for the company at the time, the company owned by the university. I'm not working as a researcher, which always like, or almost always like, to produce the best quality, even though it's not necessary for the customer. So I said that for me, the best quality is the one who gave me more profit, not the one the best for my knowledge. That is.
Okay. And then, so yeah, related to that, around that discussion, I'm curious if UGM is also doing this initiative, for example, to educate customers or consumers about appreciating high quality chocolate and understanding these cacao flavor profiles.
So this one is also, we are not working alone. For example, we have also some communication before collaboration, because it's not yet come to close collaboration, but the communication with, for example, with Monier. Monier also said that our difficulty is that to educate the customer in Jawa. Customer in Jawa has no culture of fermentation, because for the fermentation always come a flavor of sour, the taste of sour. And for the people in Jawa, sour means like rotten. So even, for example, when I personally have a small enterprise at home making yogurt and cheese, not always those people, my surrounding people, said that this, why you sell expired milk is always very sour, while in the area where European or Australian tourists come, they said that this is very good taste. But for our own people, it's no, this is
Yes.
expired milk. So we have to educate this one. Why? How we educate? By the hand or the mouth of our partners like Monier. So to tell the truth, for Indonesian, they like to see while white people eat this one. This is a good quality. Then they will follow you as a good quality. Very sorry to say this one, but that's the fact. So
Indeed.
we work with Monier, for example. Now Monier also have difficulty. I could not find a really 100% fermented bean. So I said that to educate those farmers to make a fermentation, very difficult on here. So how, Irfan, how to do? Let's try to ferment dry bean. So I start to make a fermentation of dried bean. Unfermented dried bean, we ferment this one. And thanks God, 80% fermented, 85%. While for A quality is 90%. But I succeed in with the cut test. From 100 bean, cut 85 fermented. Even started with dry bean, dry unfermented bean. So I said, Monir, why not using this one? So second grade, because 85%. If 90% is first grade, this is the way we innovate process to follow how to say, producer and also customer.
Very interesting. You are really a Dr. Cacao, Professor.
No, just fermentation. Now I make a fermentation of coffee bean, dried coffee bean. I bring it home and start to ferment, to have a fermentation using bacteria which I selected or isolate from the luwak. Coffee luwak, when it's just come from the luwak as a feces, I take the feces, I ask my friend, take the feces with bean to me, and then I isolate the microbes, and I found several microbes. Now I use this one for fermentation, and even Robusta bean. When I send it to the barista, they said, I send you Robusta, Professor. But when it comes, it's Robusta. No, this is Arabica. We can change the taste. Because with the fermentation comes the taste of sour. The acid is coming. So that is, I like to have a playing. I enjoy playing at this kind of thing.
Yeah, that is, and also it's also interesting. You play with flavors, right? And then to really understand like what is different, different fermentation, different flavors. And then I think it's also important to have this knowledge also shared to the younger generation to really appreciate the flavors, not only it's bitter, it's just it's what you say, it's rotten, right? And then they start putting sugar, and then it changed the whole dietary
So
nutrition.
You consume sugar instead of the cacao because of the.
No, not for me. I really appreciate the original
I mean,
taste.
when we put sugar more for the cacao, then they consume sugar more than the cacao, than
Yes,
chocolate.
Indeed. And so I'm also curious. One more question, Professor. Are there like innovative marketing strategies that can be also implemented maybe to verify or showcase the sustainability efforts of Yogyakarta cacao industry to this exported, for the international customers?
Use the story. We are not selling only the chocolate, but we sell the story of this chocolate. The story is that this is started with a very dry land, inhabitable actually. You know, in 1980, when we call somebody coming from Wonosari, Gunung Kidul, US, like, why? So poor. Always poor people. They are a place or an enclave of very poor people. But come now to Wonosari, very good place. A lot of spring coming. Why? Because we started with keep the plant. Do not cut the tree. You can take the pot. For coffee, you can take the pin. Now we are working in on the border between Klaten, Wonosari, and Wonogiri, Gunung Gambar. A very dry place also. Poor people there. We start to grow coffee, or Robusta, because not so high. Why? Because it is able to stand for pest and pathogen. So we talk to the people there. Do not cut the tree, but you can earn the bean. And I teach also how to ferment that one. But they said that, Professor, just buy our coffee is enough. You can process. For me, is that the coffee bean, we can sell the coffee bean is enough. So this is how we educate, but educate the customer that you buy this one, you save the earth. So this is also necessary. Malabar, also we come to Malabar for coffee Malabar in the southern part of Bandung. We come to the people also. But for me, teaching the student, come to the people. Do not come only to your journal and book. It's not enough. Come to the people, learn from them. What is the problem? Then we have a system to do something. That is why I'm not talking about invention. I'm talking about innovation, which may not very new, but it is usable.
Yes. Thank you
Is
very
it
much.
okay,
I
Sophia?
also, yes, that is very clear.
Please come.
And also,
Please come and discuss. Yeah.
yes, I would love to. I would love to visit you and discuss. And because I also agree that innovation should not be owned by the scientists itself, it should be also shared by the local community on how they should implement such innovation. And also, I also agree with you regarding the story, like to make story in the packaging, right? That you say that, yeah, buying this product will save Earth. That's really a simple way. But then, yeah, it's also important, like, yeah, how the customer can understand that, yeah, you buy this product, you also give, like, I don't know, maybe price premium to farmers that also implement like sustainability practices. And then that also needs to be shared by consumers. So they are also appreciating the taste and also more appreciating the farmers as well who produce that products. So yeah, thank you very much, Professor. It's really nice to have a discussion with you.
Okay,
So then its next question come from.
Okay, we have a lot of questions actually, Professor.
Yeah. So
Okay, from Francis.
Is there a specific trend on what people in Jogja want for their cocoa product, like a chocolate drink, more prefer the chocolate bar? Both. Now chocolate bar is became also like a trendy among youngsters. But you know, the innovation sometimes too fast for me, because sometimes even they put like they call it the spicy chocolate drink, which for me I cannot accept the taste, because it also have a like a taste of somehow chili a little bit, but they make it. You can try some chocolate drink in Kulon Progo. Quite expensive, but they call it spicy chocolate. But this is the trend among youngsters now. The Gen Z, I think, like to try something which is different, and also chocolate drink. Yeah, actually, the chocolate bar, chocolate drink that made by people are too expensive. Why? because the highest price, most expensive part of the cacao is cocoa butter. In the company, they separate the cocoa butter from the cocoa powder, and they put again a little bit, not all, a little bit. Other are supplement or substitute by palm oil, not 100%. The most expensive are cacao butter, cocoa butter. But for the people, when they make a cocoa bar, chocolate bar, chocolate drink, they still all the cocoa butter are there. So this is very expensive actually. You are drinking a luxurious drink when you drink a cacao drink from the people, because they do not separate between the cocoa powder and cocoa butter. They are not supplemented or substitute this one with the palm oil, margarine. So is there any information about the supply chain, value chain, cacao that you could share? If the supply chain, I have the information, but I could not put it this into the just like I know only who are taking the, for example, Monier taking the source from a certain place and then sell in at a certain place, but I have no data, complete data on who taking the chocolate from where and then sell to where. I do not have that, but I know only several cocoa producer, chocolate producer, which is related to us in Universitas Gadjah Mada, Frances.
For this question, Professor, they will learn about socio-economic part tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow, okay,
Another
tomorrow.
professor.
Then,
Yes.
if you are joining the, I mean, come here to Yogyakarta, might be we can share you the information.
Yes. Okay.
Is it okay, Frances?
Frances,
Frances Mariel?
can you? Okay. Yes. She said yes.
Okay.
in
Yeah.
the chat.
Then next question coming from Muhammad Mudasar. What is the contribution of cacao in Indonesia economy? The government regulate the price of raw cacao so that small landholder can get more benefit. Yes, but this is one thing that I have to criticize the Minister of Agriculture of my government, is that they would like to be the highest producer of cacao, no matter fermented or unfermented. Because they know, because the highest producer, then they want to have more production, and also they do not think about producing chocolate bar. So they just take the butter, cocoa butter out, and then they produce the powder as a filler. Yes, this is the case of Indonesia. Is there any regulate the price? No. The price that is regulated by the government is only the price for rice, the price for chili. So they call it 9 essential product. Yes, they regulate that one, but not other. Even chili. Chili has no. Rice, yes. Yeah. So this is the government regulate the price? No, they do not regulate that one. But of course, that is why we also in Universitas Gadjah Mada try to develop a farmers cooperative. Why is it not popular? Because in the past, farmer cooperative was, how to say, manipulated by people, some people, so that now farmers like being very hesitant to join a cooperative. But some cooperative work well. I think you are going to see this cooperative when you come next time for on-field study. Is it okay, Muhammad Mudassar?
Muhammad Mudassar, how about the answer? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Then
so
come with the
Aliyah Pakon.
Aliyah. What are some new innovations that have been developed for your chocolate product, and how well received are they in the market currently? So for us now, assisting farmers by assisting them to create or to develop a farmer cooperative have been done. Assisting farmers to process up to a chocolate bar from fermentation have been done. But now our part which is left are selling, marketing the product of those people. So how to market then? Again, see, we should not sell only the product, but we should sell the story behind the product. This is first. Second, also packaging. We should learn from Japanese. The package, if they make a product, packaging are very beautiful. And also, when I visit the farmers cooperative, I will bring the same product in front of the leader of the community. I open the one product which is in market. I open that one and then put into a simple package which come from plastic, and ask the people to try. Please try. Which one is delicious? Most of them say the one in the marketing package are more delicious, but actually the same thing. Just change the package into a plastic, a simple one. We put like a word, the brand. I put it only for teaching. So I said to those people, so packaging is important because it changes your mind. This is the same thing. I just change the package, and you said that this one is more delicious. So make this one more. Ask the youngster. So I asked, now my student, young student, are very good and are very creative in making like a brand, making like what to package the product. So this is the step now that we are doing for this business. Alia.
Okay, Aliyah, we have 2 more questions, Professor.
Yeah. Then next, Angeline, may I know the approximate estimation of how many cacao trees needed to be planted to obtain 1,000 kilograms of cacao bean for 1 ton? For 1 ton. What many cacao tree? 1, because 1 times is only 5 kilograms to might be 203 is necessary for 1 ton. But this is wet. So during the process, then we may lose the pulp, we may lose the water. So might be because for the people for the farmers, they produce only 5 to 20 kilo to 40 kilo from their small farming. Their small farming is less than 2,000 is from only 103 in the peak season they can have 40 kilo. So 25, 2,003 might be. Angeline.
Okay, Angeline, what's the answer? Can you open your mic? Do you need any response?
Yeah.
Kalau
Then
macam-
now the last question here from John in the Philippines, from the Philippines, the various farmers compromised due to the unfair trade practice. I asked the case of Indonesia here, how local cooperative and farmer organization in Yogyakarta influencing the production, marketing, and fair trade practices. So why we assist the people to make the cacao chocolate by themselves because of these unfair practices. That is why cross this one by teaching the people how to produce. And now, as we have a e-trade, we have a commercial, e-commerce, that you can sell your product to different places, even to a foreign country, but just give the customer for Indonesian only. You can sell this one from Yogyakarta to Jakarta using the e-commerce. This is how we try to overcome or to give more benefit to the farmers, because of the cases also happen when it come with the industrious trade. Sometimes they want to have more benefit or more profit than so we use this one, especially for Yogyakarta. Yogyakarta is a tourist destination. So we cross this one by using this positive side of the Yogyakarta, the opportunity to sell product of the people directly to a customer through the chain of the tourism, because here Yogyakarta is a tourist destination. That's all.
Okay.
Because the time is approaching, so I I respond to the last question from Muhammad Said. Two questions there. Any study conducted so far about the role of soil microbes in cocoa production, and talking about sustainability to the farmer and supply by fertilizer or commercial use of PGPR. So for the soil microbes, surely mycorrhiza is important for us now. Why? Because we started this cacao plantation in the area which is very infertile and dry. So the lack of water, that is why the mycorrhiza is important. Second, that is why we select cacao, because you can put you can only take the pod, but the leaf, fallen leaf, we can use this one as a compost, even without composting. Just put it into the soil, and it will be degraded, decomposed to improve the soil fertility. But now, surely they like to have, because now they start also to raise cattle or goat. The goat is used for, and cattle, they use the dung for fertilizing, organic fertilizing, whether they put the microbes or not. But what surely they need they give the organic fertilizer.
Yes, okay. I think it's done for all the question, Professor. And also our time is up. And we also have another professor over here, the third professor. So I think it's enough for Professor Irfan for your time. So I want to ask you all also for open your camera for the second taking picture with our professor, insightful professor. And for your information, for the hybrid students, you will meet Professor Irfan in Yogyakarta later. Okay, Vita, can you help us?
Okay. Okay, I will take a picture. Okay, give your big smile.
1, 2, 3. Okay, second page. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
So I
thank
should address also Professor Xian
Cheng. Yes,
Cheng.
Professor Cheng.
Welcome,
Yes,
Professor Cheng.
thank you.
I think Professor
I'm
Cheng is in Indonesia right now.
yeah,
Yes,
it is
yes,
Indonesia. I know that from the WhatsApp of Next Lab, your picture is coming to the WhatsApp group. But
yes,
unfortunately, that I have appointment, Professor, so I could not follow your lecture.
sure, no problem. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, yes, thank you, Professor
Thank you,
Irfan.
everybody.
Okay.
See you in Yogyakarta.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Okay, so welcome, Professor Cheng, in our
Yes.
online lecture. I'm Santi. I'm from Department of Agricultural Microbiology. I'm the moderator for today. So we have online participant for today that come from various countries. So let me first to introduce you to them.
Thank you.
Sharing your profile. So here is yours. Okay, our third guest lecture today is Associate Professor Cheng, and he's come from Department of Bioenvironmental System Engineering from National Taiwan University, and his expertise are on hydrology, micrometeorology, global climate change, and environmental biophysics. Okay, maybe some of you that learn about climate and then about soil and so on, you can learn a lot from Professor Cheng. So floor is yours, Professor.
Okay, thank you. So I should share the.
Yes,
So
you have 1 hour. Yeah, it's coming.
Okay. So
Yes, we already see.
so are you able to read?
Yeah.
Today I will talk about innovative and emerging agricultural technology and management under the subject of micrometeorology technology for precision agriculture and carbon farming. My name is Chen Xie. I'm from National Taiwan University. Actually, now the department's name is Bioenvironmental Systems Engineering, but 20 years ago, it was called Agricultural Engineering. And since then, I don't think the contents of this department have changed a lot. So I think basically it's also agricultural engineering. All right, this is the outline for my presentation today. First of all, I will talk about precision agriculture, then carbon farming, the so-called 4% initiative, then micrometeorology technique, the so-called eddy coherence method, and then I will talk about modeling by a model called denitrification decomposition, the so-called DNDC model. So when I was asked to talk about this topic, I searched in the internet about the innovation in agriculture. Then this is what I found. And here you can find the sources for this slide. So number 1 is farm automation technologies. Number 2 is precision agriculture for farm management. Number 3 is indoor vertical farming. Then bee factoring for agricultural uses. Then wastewater treatment innovation and drone use and artificial intelligence. Number 7 is what I added on. I thought that carbon farming could be also an innovation in agriculture. So today I will focus on number 2, number 3, and number 4. Number 2, number 3, number 6, artificial intelligence, and number 7, carbon farming. So now let's define precision agriculture. And this definition is from Wiki, so you can search on the internet also. Precision agriculture is a farming management strategy No, sorry. Based on observing, measuring, and responding to the temporal and the spatial variability to improve agricultural production and the sustainability. For example, weather data for something like temperature, humidity, wind directions. So the weather, the data from the weather station are not good enough for precision agriculture. We have our own micrometeorology station on the farm. So these temperature, humidity data that observed by our own meteorological station are more precise for our own use. Then precision agriculture uses newer technology. Sorry, I need to. So precision agriculture is a farming management strategy based on observing, measuring, and responding to the temporal and spatial variability to improve agricultural production and sustainability. So precision agriculture uses newer technologies like satellite mapping and drone imagery. And so also importantly is soil sensors to operate the use of resources and the application of chemicals. This technology allows growers or farmers to focus on a specific need of a crop field to target only the required amount of fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides. So you will not apply the extra amount more than needed fertilizers and also pesticides to your farm. So here is an example. This cornfield is actually my family's cornfield, and they are my parents and my auntie. So precision does not mean relying on technology. It can be done by design and management. In this cornfield, corn plants are watered and fertilized one by one. So actually, my parents, when they were watering this cornfield, they watered each corn plant, one by one, and applied the fertilizers to the corn plants one by one too. Since they are retired, time is not a factor to them. They have the time and they need to do exercise. So, in this cornfield, it can be called a precision agriculture because it's very precise in terms of watering and fertilizing, and without relying on technique like drip irrigation, for the so-called precision agriculture. So what I want to say is that for you to achieve the so-called precision agriculture, actually it's just if you have a way for managing this kind of thing, then you don't rely on technology. You can save money and save energy. You can just rely on design and management way, so to achieve the precision agriculture. And another example for precision agriculture is the indoor vertical agriculture like this. So a monitoring system for precision agriculture or indoor vertical farming, from my point of view, includes two systems. The first system is the micrometeorology monitoring system, and the second system is machine learning algorithms. And by using this artificial intelligence and the image monitoring system, you will be able to do many things automatically. So first of all, let's talk about the micrometrology monitoring system. It the radiation and soil moisture system. So you will put sensors on your field and through Wi-Fi or any IoT technology, Internet of Things. Then you can have all the data actually in your cell, and so you can this this system should be cheap enough or low cost enough for developing countries farmers. So then actually you can if you can search on the internet, and in Taiwan we have many lectures already on the internet or YouTube that you can learn. So this system can be easily done by the ESP8266 system plus the junior system, and then you can also download the Blink app, so then you can learn this learn how to construct this micrometrology system by your own self, and these are very low cost. And then for the second system is the machine learning algorithm and the image monitoring system for crop pest disease detection, anomaly detection, phenotype classification, and the crop growth status. So for this, you just need to train your system, and then your monitoring system can tell you that maybe then you can know, and then you can take the responding actions to prevent from disease for your farm field. But of course, then you need data, and then you need to train your AI system. But although you may not an expert in machine learning or artificial intelligence systems, but people can do this for you. So there's no problem for this. So then after you have done the precision agriculture, and after like in our case, after this cornfield has been harvested, then a tiller was used to grind the remainder stalks, roots, and the leaves into the soil, and to increase the soil organic carbon. So this is what we are doing for our farm field, or my parents are doing. I'm not doing this because I have to teach. So then this is the so-called carbon farming. And carbon farming is a path to more sustainable agriculture. So carbon farming is a set of agricultural methods that aim to store carbon in the soil, crop roots, wood, and leaves. The term for this is carbon sequestration. The overall goal of carbon farming is to create net loss of carbon from the atmosphere. So, and you can check the definition from the wiki also. So for carbon farming, this is done by increasing the rate at which carbon is sequestered into soil and the plant material. One option is to increase the soil's organic matter content. Carbon farming is one component of climate smart agriculture. It is also one way to remove carbon dioxide from a global. So the 4 per thousand initiative is announced in the Paris Agreement in year 2015. If the level of, and it says that if the level of carbon stored by soils in the top 30 to 40 centimeters of soil increased by 0.4%, so it means 4 per thousand per year, then the annual increase of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will be significantly reduced. So this is the so-called 4 per thousand initiative. And the vision of 2050 of the 4 per thousand initiative is worldwide healthy and carbon-rich soils to combat climate change and end hunger. So how do we do carbon farming? So when organic matter in the soil is exposed and after we do carbon farming, is there a problem? So when organic matter in the soil is exposed to the air, it is easy for soil respiration, and especially carbon is increased. So there might be a problem for carbon farming, because when the soil organic carbon in the soil is increased, then the soil respiration will be increased too. Then this carbon restored in the soil will be released into the atmosphere again. So how do we quantify this respiration rate? And then so we will know how what's the net carbon stored in the soil by carbon farming action. So we have to do the measuring and verifying carbon storage for generating carbon credits. And these carbon credits now are done like actors like company Ferroa or Gold Standard, and play a crucial role in the voluntary carbon market. So this is the problem in carbon farming. So we have to measure soil erosion on agricultural land. So this is one way to measure the soil respiration after carbon farming. Oh, this is another way that we measure respiration, and this is done automatically. But this technique, that chamber method, is very expensive. But it's you can reduce manpower a lot. So this is also what we are doing in Finland. For a peatland in Finland, I think here in Indonesia you have peatland too. So these are the eddy coupling systems that we use to measure the carbon dioxide respiration from the field. Also in peatland, because you have a lot of water, and you will produce methane too. So this is another problem for peatland. So so the technique for measuring this kind of carbon dioxide emission or uptaking and methane flux is the eddy covalence method. So I will talk about the eddy covalence method a little bit, although that today, because of the limit of time, then we cannot talk all the details for this method, but I will give you some insights for this method, and probably you can dig out more materials from the internet too. And the eddy covalence method actually contains two equipments. The first equipment is the open path gas analyzers, and these gas analyzers can be carbon dioxide, water vapor concentration. Also, you can have methane or other greenhouse gases emission, greenhouse gases analyzers. And the other one is the sonic anemometer to measuring the three-dimensional wind velocities. So this technique, the so-called, so this technique is used to measuring the so-called flux and quantify the sources and sinks for the gas that you are interested in. For example, it's the carbon dioxide or water vapor or methane. So the unit for flux is mole or gram of carbon dioxide per square meter and per second. And so flux is nothing but the velocity of the speed, wind speed, times the concentration of the trace gas that you are interested in. So if you velocity has the unit of meter per second, concentration has the unit of gram per cubic meter. So you multiply these two together, you will get this unit, gram per square meter per second. So it means that in each unit of area, each unit of time, that how much carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere in this area. So this method is based on the so-called conservation of scalar mass. And the scalar means the carbon dioxide or water vapor or methane or any object that you are interested in. And this is based on the advection diffusion equation. And the advection diffusion equation is nothing but the advection flux plus the diffusion flux equals to the change of scalar mass in the control volume and plus the source term in that control volume. So the advection flux is nothing but the velocity times the concentration gradient through the x-axis, y-axis, and the z-axis. And the UVW are the wind speeds in the x direction, y direction, and the z direction. And the change of scalar mass is partial C over partial T, and of course C is the concentration of the scale of the scalar. And then for diffusion flux, then you applied. For diffusion flux, we apply the fixed law. So the diffusion flux is nothing but proportional to the concentration gradient and multiplied by the molecular diffusivity. And the advection flux is nothing but velocity times concentration, as we have said. So if you sum them up, then you will end up with this equation. Then we have for applying this equation, because this is for instantaneous concentration only, but normally when we apply this technique, we need to know the mean concentration and the fluctuation concentration, which is the turbulent part. So when we measure the instantaneous concentration C, then we divide this into two parts, the mean concentration C bar plus the fluctuation part C prime. So this is a time series of the concentration C. So at the x-axis is time, y-axis is the concentration, and then this line is the mean, and the turbulent part of fluctuation part from the mean is the fluctuation part. So C bar is actually the instantaneous concentration summed up over the whole period of time T, and then divide by the time period. Other case that you sum them up, you sum all your measurements up, and then do the averaging. So this is the definition for C bar. So then if we apply the Reynolds decomposition into this instantaneous equation, advection diffusion equation, this is what you will get. You will end up with partial C bar over partial T plus the mean advection diffusion term. And then the extra term that you will get is the turbulent flux divergence term, partial U prime C prime bar over partial X. So this is the turbulent flux divergence term. And then if for applying this equation into the real measurement, we still have to assume that we have steady state horizontal homogeneity, and then the mean vertical wind speed is 0. So if we take back, if we steady state, it means this term partial C bar over partial T is 0. Then we assume horizontal homogeneity. So partial C bar over partial X is 0. Partial C bar over partial Y is 0. And we assume W bar is 0 too. So all these terms are cancelled out. And this term is cancelled out because you have partial X, partial Y is cancelled out too. You end up with two terms only. Partial W prime C prime bar over partial G equals to the source. And the source is what you want to, and then you will end up with noting that W prime C prime bar measured at some height above the canopy, above your cone field, or for example, of your steady, then you integrate source strength from 0 to h. H is the canopy height. So, your part. So these two terms are the things that you want to know. Atmosphere during day, all the CO2 up from in the atmosphere was uptaken by the trees by photosynthesis reactions. So these two terms are what you want, and these two terms, the summation of these two terms is exactly to the term W prime C prime bar measured at the canopy height. So the turbulent flux equals to the surface source. These two terms is the surface source. And this is what we want. And this is why the name of AD covariance, because W prime C prime bar is the covariance of W and C. So again, let me remind you, W is the fluctuation of the vertical velocity, and the C is the C prime is the fluctuation of the concentration of your scalar, for example, like carbon dioxide. So then we use the eddy covariance technique to measure W prime C prime bar. Then you will know the source strength of your forest or your agricultural land. But to apply this eddy covariance method, we need three-dimensional wind velocity. That's why we need a three-dimensional sonic anemometer to measure the three wind velocities and the temperature. And we need a gas analyzers for water vapor, carbon dioxide, and other scalar. And so this is done by open path or closed path analyzer. So for you to reach the high frequency measurement, you need at least high frequency. It means that your equipment need a high frequency. That, for example, like 10 hertz, and then we averaging the whole measurements into a 30 minutes period. So every 30 minutes, you will get one measurement. So to quantify your source strength for your forest or cornfield. So this is the requirement for applying the eddy covariance method to quantify your source strength for your forest or cornfield or any agricultural land. So it should be a very high frequency, at least 10 hertz. So these are the moments, and this is the speed in direction. Normally, the mean wind speed in the z direction, which is the mean vertical wind, is nearly zero. So you can see this, this vertical wind speed is fluctuating in the vertical direction. And this is the fluctuation in temperature measurement. This is the fluctuation for CO2 measurement. Here you can see a baseline here. It's because in the atmosphere we have a background CO2 concentration, and these are you can see the fluctuation of all these peaks are CO2 releasing from the soil respiration or from artifactions and so on. So this is a typical that the data that you will get from eddy covariance method. For this is a 2 diurnal cycle. So these are actually hours. So this is starting from the this is the starting point. Then 10 hours. 10 hours. So this is around the noon. Then this 24 hours is the first day. Then keep going. So this 48 hours will be 2 days. So these are 2 days data. So for in the daytime, you will see a lot of heat flux. Then this is the water vapor flux during around noon. The magnitude is the. Then during daytime, you will have photosynthesis reaction, so it can uptake a lot of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So you will see this. This is negative carbon dioxide because it's uptaking the CO2 from the atmosphere. And during nighttime, you can see there's a small respiration rate. So this means that the carbon dioxide is releasing from your ecosystem or agricultural system. And here you can know that the uptaking the photosynthesis reaction is much stronger than the soil respiration during the nighttime. So this the AD covariance system. Again, this is the system, and we in Taiwan we have applied this system to quantify the CO2 uptaking rate by the forest in Taiwan, and this is the field site of the system in Taiwan is in the northwest eastern Taiwan is in the area in a county called Yilan, and this is done by rice paddy in Yilan too. In this, and the Pharaoh season, and this is flooded with water. This is the Pharaoh season. You know, when the water is drained out, and so it's the land is dry. And this is during the crop season, and the crop season is around March to July. So this is the result from our AD covariance system. So in the Pharaoh season, you can see during when it's flooded with water, the soil respiration is weak, and then not exceeding 5 micromole per square meter per second. And for this crop season, because your rice is doing photosynthesis and taking carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, so you can see a strong CO2 flux negatively when the net radiation is strong. And here, because in this Pharaoh season, you can see some weeds or plants in the field, so you will see some a small CO2 uptake taken when the net radiation is strong, but it's much smaller comparing to comparing to the crop season. So these are the examples that you will see from a forest. Then you can see the sensible heat flux, water vapor flux, and this is the air temperature, and this is the CO2 flux that measured over a rice paddy field. And for the crop season, you can see that most of the time, the net radiation, the energy is used for sensible heat flux. It occupied about 10% of the net radiation, and for water vapor, it occupied about 25%. So because in this rice paddy in the crop season, the field is flooded with water, so a lot of the available energy is attributed to evapotranspiration. So our results shows during crop season, the maximum carbon dioxide uptake was about 22 micromole per square meter per second. or you can say it's about 35 kilograms of carbon dioxide per hectare per hour. Or in federal season, the maximum CO2 emission rate is much smaller from the soil water surface. It's about only 5 micromole per square meter per second. But in the cross season, it's 22. And eddy conversion system is so expensive. So we need machine learning and modeling. So for our study, we have applied 5 machine learning algorithms to estimate CO2 flux. So you can see these 5 machine learning algorithms all do a good job for CO2 flux estimation from forest or rice paddy or even grassland. So it means that the machine learning is doing a good job, and we can apply machine learning for predicting CO2 flux. And another way to do for monitoring greenhouse gases is the so-called denitrification decomposition model. And the DNDC model is a rain event-driven and process-oriented model for simulating an emission of trace gases. For all these NO, N2O, N2CH4, CO2, and the NH3 from soils too. And this DNDC model is very powerful if you are not very familiar with machine learning also. And then the model has 6 submodels. 3 of the submodels contain soil climate, crop growth, and decomposition, and driven by environmental factors, temperature, precipitations, and the soil contents and the vegetation. So the other 3 submodels, nitrification, denitrification, and formation, then predict emissions of trace gases using the models and the modeled soil environment factors. But so you need to measure temperature, precipitation, and you need to know the soil organic compound and the soil content to trigger this model. So the soil climate submodels calculates vertical profiles of soil temperature, moisture, and soil, so on. The crop growth submodel calculates crop growth and its influence on soil environmental factors such as soil moisture, dissolved organic carbon, and available nitrogen concentrations. The decomposition submodel then generates vertical concentration profiles of substrates like DOC, NH4 plus, and O3 minus. So this is the model structure. As I said, there are 3 models for like soil, climate, and so on, and the other 3 models to give you the predictions of the greenhouse gases emissions. So the data input for DNDC include climate data, so daily maximum and the minimum air temperature, daily precipitation, and the daily photosynthetically active radiation. So this is the so-called PAR. And the soil properties, texture, bulk density, pH, and the soil organic carbon, and management activities like land use type, applications of fertilizers, and the slurry, and so on, irrigations. So this is our site. For this study, we have collaboration with University College Cork in Ireland, and this is our eddy conversion system, and this is the site. And this grassland is actually used for feeding the cows. So you can see many cows there. And this is our eddy conversion system. This is our technician. So and so we have measurements, and we have estimation from DNDC model. In this case, we concentrate on the nitrous oxide flux. So this is the rainfall, and then this is the so this is the application for fertilizers, and this is the and then you can see that for nitrous flux, nitrous dioxide flux, you can see our the blue line are measurements, observations. The red lines are predictions. You can see we can catch up the major peaks of the observations of nitrous N2O flux. So this is very amazing that this model this model will not cost you a lot of money, as you have to buy the 80 convents system for NTO flux measurements. It's actually, I have to tell you that for measuring N2O flux, it's much more expensive than measuring CO2 flux and the methane flux. And this is rainfall, and this is the fertilizer applications. And as you can see, whenever there's a fertilizer application, you can see there is N2O flux. Or if there is the rainfall, then you can see, there's rainfall, you can see N2O flux emission too. So this is why this DNDC model is called rain event driven model, because when you increase the soil moisture, there's a rainfall or irrigation action, then you would trigger the emission of N2O. So this is all what I want to say for today. And these are the papers that we have published, or these are the documents that especially for DNDC model that you can find in the on the website. And these are all free, especially for DNDC model. Pay anything for this question and answer section.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Professor Cheng. Actually, so sorry because later on, we will have only 17. Yeah, around 15 minutes.
Okay.
Discussion.
No problem. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have one question in your chat room. Actually, we have question from Wang
Okay.
Jingjing.
So how to?
Okay. Vita, can
So
you
how
help?
can I check it?
Okay. Vita
Okay.
will help us, our assistant. Okay. You can read
Yes.
on the screen.
Okay. Yeah, I'm reading that. So
Yeah.
I will read a question for you. He says, "Dear teacher, I'm from University of Putra, Malaysia.
Yeah,
The
from
carbon
Malaysia, the carbon research.
research
Okay. Hello, Professor Cheng. You are
neutrality in agriculture.
okay.
One way encounter. Its first question is how to account for carbon reduction. Yes. So this is a good question. So for if you have the money to buy the conference system, then you can put up your AD conference system. So during nighttime, this system will tell you the emission of carbon dioxide from the whole system, from your agriculture land or your forest. And in the daytime, this system will tell you how much carbon dioxide are absorbed by your ecosystem or by your agriculture land. So then you have to sum them up. So you have to do a temporal integration. So you have to sum them up. And normally your photosynthesis rate is much bigger than your respiration rate. So the summation of these two is the reduction of carbon by your plantation. So you have to do the summation, and then you will get the carbon, the amount of your carbon reduction by your plantation. So I hope this answers the question.
Okay.
And the second question.
Yes. Previously, Professor, we have
Songs are now. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
yes. Sorry, we have Majoverly that she will ask you directly. Okay.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Dr. Chang. I'm Joverly
Yeah.
from the Philippines. May I
Yes.
just ask if you're familiar with mobile apps that can measure crop growth status? If available, what can you recommend?
I recommend the one that is widely used in Taiwan. So should I share?
Yes, please.
So I recommend this one. This app, Blink. This Blink app, you can get it from your mobile phone easily. Then if you have all these sensors, then this will be linked through Wi-Fi. So you need to have Wi-Fi for for your sensors. And by using this Wemos D1 Mini, it's like a mini computer, but you can buy it. It's very cheap. And then you have to write a code to to control it. And this can be, there's lectures that probably you can find that in your local internet. Then you will teach all these. You can search, but these are now in Chinese, so probably it's hard for you to understand. I think maybe for your country, you can find out the internet for this. Yes.
Okay, how about the answer? Jefferly, do you have any other question or is enough?
Yeah, I think that's more on the microclimate. What about for specifically measuring plant height or do you know?
Plant height.
Plant height.
That part.
Yeah, are you familiar with smartphone apps?
That part, sorry, I don't know. But there may be, I think maybe now the drone can help you measuring the plant height. Maybe they have the image.
Okay, maybe you can find
So
out.
sorry about this. That I'm not familiar with.
It's okay, Dr. Chong. I'm just trying my luck. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
thank
so
you.
let's go ahead to another question. We have some of questions. So for the second question, we have Ellen. Okay, drones are now widely used by large holding farmers in Asia and other parts of the globe. What are the potential benefits and challenges of using drones in agricultural management? Okay, maybe you can answer this question, Professor Chang.
Actually, I do not use drone, so from my so this is not my expertise. But now we
Okay. I think your connection, internet connection is
not good.
yeah,
So how about now?
yeah, it's good.
It's good. Okay. So the drone is for example, you can use the drone to apply fertilizers or pesticides to your field. But then the drone cannot do it precisely like my parents did. You know, when my parents were applying fertilize the plant one by one, but the drones cannot do this. So then this is the disadvantage for a drone, but it can certainly like reduce your time. But the drone has another thing that which is very useful is to give you the imagery of your growth of your plants. You can keep and you don't have to walk around. So this is very good in terms of image detection or those imagery that are not easily found by your eyes. So I think these are the advantages and the disadvantages for this. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your response, Professor. Another question is from Devandra.
Yeah.
If we talk about spatial factors, does the edge covariance measurements method have a radius like one station covers how many kilometers?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. This is a very good question. Yes. Normally, because it will cover how many kilometers is based on the weather situation. Because if it's an unstable condition or a stable condition, they have different things. But since you are assuming that you have a homogeneity condition, it means when you have a cornfield, all the way they are all cornfields. They are not some they are not something else. But there is one way to estimate this is if your measurement height is 1 meter, then you can see your eddy covariance system will be able to cover 100 meters distance. So it depends on your height. If you install your eddy covariance method at a higher height, for example, if you increase the measurement height to 2 meters height, then your eddy covariance system can carry out 200 meters long. So 200 meters by 200 meters. So this is like 40,000 square meters. So this is the area that a eddy covariance method can cover. But if you have the system and then there are models, the so-called flux footprint model, then this model will tell you the area that your eddy covariance systems can cover. Okay, this is a very nice question.
Okay, thank you. Devandra, is it enough for the answer or you have another question?
Yeah, is it enough?
Okay. Okay, so we are going to another question from Alvio. Okay, may I know if the method you implemented about the N2 or rainfall, rainfall and fertilizer application has been applied to study the synchronization of the plant nutrient uptake? And then he also has another question. He has two questions. In the final graph, or plot or diagram that you showed, can there possibly be some computational measurements of the synchronization between all the three questions? N2O and then rainfall and fertilizer application.
Okay, the first question that part I'm not sure for doing plant nutrient uptake. I am sure that in that model, when they are because there is the denitrification decomposition equations or chemical reactions in that model. So I am sure that you can simulate the plant nutrient uptake, because for the plant nutrient uptake is related to the nutrient content in the soil. So you should just look at the nutrient content in the soil, then you can see the plant nutrient uptake by by this model. So so you just need to dig out if this model give you the soil nutrient content. So I guess so, but I have never used it. So why don't you go ahead and use it, and then let me know, because I only care about N2O flux, carbon dioxide flux emissions, and these predictions by this model. But I'm sure these data are there. I'm just not sure about if they release these estimations or predictions in the output of the model. Okay, this is the first question. And the second question is the computational measurement. No, actually, this model, the input is the rainfall and the fertilizer applications. And then they do not synchronize this because the N2O is the emission from the predictions. So you give the data that the rainfall and the fertilizer, the time when there is a rainfall and the time when there's an application for your fertilizer. Then this model will use this information then to predict the emission of N2O. So I don't think there's the synchronization between all these three, but there is a temporal sequence for all these three.
Okay, thank you.
So is the answer fine?
Yes. Okay, Elvio, do you have any response for the answer?
Yes, Professor Xie, I just would like to thank you for the answer. I just would like to ask if could there be a possibility to collaborate with you, with your department or your group, in case we want to move with this direction, in this direction?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Send me an email. Do you have my email? Oh, you can.
Or I can search in the Google. Is it?
Yeah.
You're from the
National
Bioenvironmental Systems
Taiwan
Engineering
University
of NTU, right?
Department.
Sir?
Yeah, NTU. Okay, if you have any questions, you can contact people who can find my email. Yeah, it will be an honor to be able to cooperate with you. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Elvio. Okay, for the last question, actually our time is limited. So from Chris N, precision agriculture is quite expensive for small scale farmers. What could be other alternatives to PA that will be viable for small scale farmers? What do you think, Professor? Your opinion about it?
Yeah, actually, this is the thing that we are doing, and this is why I show you that our system. So can I share again?
Yes. Vita, can you end your share screen so Professor Xiong can share his screen? Okay.
So this is the system that is not expensive. This kind of system, that you build up by this one. Can you see my mark? You use the Arduino system. So this is much cheaper.
Okay. So from Chris, maybe you can try to find out.
Yeah, so by this kind of system, it's much cheaper, and that's good for small farmers. And of course, you can. So these technologies are very mature, and you can actually buy these. If you don't want to do it by yourself, you can hire a company or to do it for you. But the company, will charge you a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with that, Professor.
Yeah.
Okay, I think our time is up right now. So we don't have any other questions, so we will close our course for today. But before that, let me say for the final statement from me. So I have one statement that regarding our courses for today. So as we are living in a technology era, so we can improve our world, and then with technology and its innovation, we can change the world. I think that is the statement for our course today. And before that, Vita, we will take a picture with Professor Cheng for the last time for today. Vita, can you help us? For the participant, please open your camera and then say cheese and give your best smile for today.
Okay, I will take a picture. There are 2 slides. Okay, please give your big smile. Okay, I will take 1, 2, 3. Okay, and next to second page. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Back to Bu Santi.
Okay, thank you, Vita, for your helping. Okay, Professor Cheng, I think this is our last session for today. Thank you for coming, and thank you for your insightful information for us. Okay, and for all the participants, tomorrow we will have the last courses, online courses. And also I want to inform you about the quiz that maybe, I don't think that last time some people doing that, but for tomorrow we have the last quiz. And also I will inform you about the group. With that group, you will have your final presentation, and also for the hybrid group, you will come to Indonesia and you will have your own presentation in our faculty. So I think it is all the information from me for today. And I want to say good day. Thank you for coming for our online courses, and see you.
See you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, Professor Xie.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
Professor.